welcome to the Tansson Talk Show. I'm Brandon, the host of the show, and a proud graduate student finishing up my studies in lifespan and digital communication. Every week, we come on the show to strengthen our mission to bring people together. And this week, I'm super excited to welcome Kyle onto the show. Welcome, Kyle, and I am so excited to speak with you.
Hello, what's up? I'm Kyle Poselero. I'm a sophomore at Virginia Tech, a CS major who does YouTube and has a podcast on the side.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you on, and I hope that you're doing well today.
I am doing well. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Well, I said, very excited to speak with you, and thank you so much for coming on.
No, it's a pleasure to be on here. Thank you.
Of course. And yeah, and like I said, and thank you so much for the introduction. And I guess I will go ahead and get started by saying so right now you are, I believe, a year into your YouTube journey, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I would say so. Something like that.
Yeah, and so first of all, how has everything been for you in putting together your YouTube channel and putting out content?
At first it was really fun and I had so many like video ideas and like I just wanted to vlog and share my college experience. But then when I started to grow like a like an audience, I started to think more of like, oh, what should I post and like how should I make the video quality better rather than just putting my face on a camera and just being like, oh, what's up guys, welcome back to another video.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I guess how far into it, if you happen to remember, have a guesstimate as to, I guess, when that shift began happening for you?
I would say that shift happened whenever I put my most popular video, my first day of spring semester. I think that got like 13, 14, no, 14K views, and I was thinking like, oh, maybe I can really do something out of this. So I started thinking outside of the box and being like, what should I post in order to make people want to click on my videos, and not just because I wanted to make them.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And when you first started, did you have any idea that many people would want to, I mean, to tune in to see what you're doing in your story?
Honestly, no, because I've been doing like videos and like just all that recording stuff since I was a kid, and I always did it for fun. And I never really thought that like I would be able to do something like this, like post on like a bi-weekly basis or like show off my channel or like show my life, and people would actually be interested in it.
And so is it a bit exciting for you now? I mean, that people truly are excited to tune in and check your newest uploads?
Yeah, it is. It is very exciting, but also overwhelming at the same time because it's like, oh, what if the video doesn't do well? But then I have to remember that I'm doing this for fun and not. It's not like something that I like. It's not like a full-time job. It is really nice to see a video do well and like people actually enjoy watching it.
Yeah, and so I definitely want to ask a little bit of a different question too. And so I know, like you said that you had always done this since you were little, and so I
Mhm.
guess could you go into that a little bit more?
So the first video I remember ever making was when I was like 4 or 5. Like I used my mom's iPad, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do 20 push-ups," and I ended up not even doing a single one, and that was like the first ever moment I remembered like actually um, recording something. And then when I was little, when I was 10, I used to do a gaming channel, and I used to just record myself play Minecraft or CS:GO, and I did that for like a year or two. And then I found out what vlogging is. And I found like Casey Neistat or like Kelly Wakasa. And then I found those guys and I took inspiration from them. So I started my own YouTube channel with my friend. And then it finally led up to the channel I have now, where I decided I'm just going to do this on my own because it is a passion that I really like doing.
I absolutely love that. And out of curiosity, are those few past channels still around, or have they been deleted or archived since then?
Oh, you can actually still find them. Yeah, the one of them was called Max and Kai Vlogs, and then the other one was like Kai YT or something. So they're still up. I don't delete my videos because it is like a memory. So
I love that. Yeah, as someone who definitely loves having a archive of things, I 100% understand that. And so yeah, but that's really cool though that you were able to, I mean, to do that and truly grow up. I mean, wanting to do this, it wasn't just oh, I'm just going to do this one day. I mean, you truly have done this from the very beginning.
No, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess, for you entering college, at what point was it just like, okay, this is the time to go make your current YouTube channel? Like, what really, I guess, was the start of that?
I would say like the beginning of fall semester freshman year, I was having so much fun. I was enjoying college. And then I saw people on YouTube like posting their college experience. I'm like, you know, I really want to look back at my college memories and my experiences and be like, wow, I really did that. So I'm like, why don't I just start a YouTube channel again? Because I already like have a passion for it. So I might as well just record literally everything I do in college and so I can look back and be like, wow, I did that in college.
And isn't it exciting? Like, have you been able to, look back at some of the previous videos you've done over this past year?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like me and my friends always watch like some of the vlogs that I used to post. Like there was this one where I went blonde or like orange hair, and that was like a horrible time because like I didn't really like the orange hair, but it was such good memories because we were all together and we were like showing like just what college is like as a freshman sophomore, and like you just do random stuff, like you hang out with your friends, and it's just super fun to look back at. Yeah.
That's so exciting. And yeah, and definitely did actually catch a bit of that, yeah, that vlog as well. And so yeah, but I like how you mentioned that, it just really shows like, what's possible with the college experience and everything. And so how would you define the college experience for you?
I would say finding what you like doing and like finding your hobbies and passions and like truly finding who you are as a person, because like I feel like college for me in the past 2 years has been mostly growth and trying to find out what I want to do with my life and for the rest of my life. And I think my videos kind of reflect on like, oh, I've been experimenting with my life, oh, I've been going here, I've been doing this, and trying to find out what I really want in like the coming years of my life. Like I am going to turn 20 soon, so I want to figure out what I want to do.
That is so exciting. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool that, I said that you're able to have that documentation and that it's already out there. It's not like you have to go back years from now and like go through like 4 years of footage or anything.
Mm, yeah.
And out of curiosity, so of course I know that, that with doing these vlogs that it requires definitely a lot of, video work and probably a lot of unused footage. And so for you personally, like what do you do with like with the leftover footage or even the footage that, you know, like the full versions of the stuff that you use? Like have you been, putting it away or deleting it? How does that go for you? Because I know every vlogger, every YouTuber has their own, different way of dealing with that.
Yeah, so actually I do have a lot of unused footage in my like drive. And I cut a lot of it out because I don't think like it looks good on the video, but I do look back on some of the footage that I do post and I'm like, dang, I should have posted that. I think one time I had like one of my recent vlogs, I had like 20, no, maybe 30, 45 minutes of footage, but I just cut it down to like 6 minutes because it's just like I want it fast paced. I do like keeping like a bunch of my archive stuff in my hard drive just to have for memories. Like even on my podcast, like there's some like podcasts that we didn't upload because like they were corrupted files, but we still have like the audio files because it's just like, oh, because we listen to the conversations like, oh, we talked about that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, and I'm so glad that that you're able to have that and keep it for memory's sake. And since you just mentioned your podcast, so how'd that start for you?
So I really got into I took maybe inspiration from like Suburb Talks and 949 podcasts. I'm like, you know what? It would be really fun to have my own podcast with my friends and just like look back and just like have something for us to like say like, oh, we did that in college. And so I decided to hit up my friends and be like, hey, we should do a podcast. And the Soul Sister podcast, or the name of my podcast is Soul Sister Podcast. And our friend group in high school or in college, we were like the Soul Sisters. Like everyone called us the Soul Sisters for some reason. And there was like 9 or 8 of us that just like would hang out all the time in freshman dorms. And now that we have our own places, we're like we don't really hang out as much because we're all busy. So now that we have a podcast, it would be like, oh, we can have time and make a schedule to where we can just talk and just like have an hour just to like catch up and just like see each other. Because we really don't get to see each other as much as we did freshman year, because everything was just so compact freshman year. Like you're in the dorms, like you're doing like you're all like in the school. But now that we're off campus and sophomores and juniors, it's just like, oh, we have to make time to see each other. We can't just like go to the dorm and just be like, hey, let's go do something. Yeah.
Well, at least that provides like a good excuse for you all to, I mean, to meet up, catch up on a regular basis. And so,
Yeah.
yeah,
I would say we took a break from the podcast for a little bit, but we're coming back, and we're really excited to like come and do more stuff. And the last podcast we recorded, we were so rusty. Like we haven't talked on like microphones in like maybe a month or two, and it was just good to like come back and be like, oh yeah, we're releasing new stuff.
that is so cool. And first of all, congratulations on the return.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Of course. And yeah, I completely get the, yeah, taking a break and being a bit rusty. And so even though I've been doing podcasting since 2017,
Hmm.
consistently since 2020, is that, you know, even though I release once a week in the present day, is that it's not always recorded in the same manner. And so sometimes there might be a few weeks or an occasional month where it's just like, yeah, I don't record. And so I'll go back to it like a month later and be like, oh, it's like this is it's like with all the preparation and despite having done this for so long, it still feels like okay, like I like need to take notes and yeah,
Hmm.
remember how to do this again. And so it definitely is really weird. It's like it's both a part of you, but at the same time though, it's like if you don't do something for a while, it begins to sort of slip away a little bit.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, and so I definitely want to yeah, go back a little bit though. And so I know for your YouTube channel that that you are currently documenting your time as a computer science student at Virginia Tech. And so had Virginia
Mhm.
Tech always been where you wanted to go, and same with computer science.
That's a good question. So I'm originally from like Northern Virginia, but I moved to Texas when I was 10. I've always wanted to go to Virginia Tech for the engineering and the CS program, because I would just see like the football games, and then the people recording on like campus being like, oh, this is like Emma Top. Like I remember watching her videos as uh like a freshman in high school, and I was like, oh, I really want to go to that school. And I would just see like everyone like in my area just have like Virginia Tech flags and just like wear hokey gear, and I'm like, you know what, I really want to go to this school, and it just feels like somewhere that I want to be in. Honestly, I think I made the right decision. Um, yeah, I've always wanted to go here for the computer science program, and yeah.
I love that, and yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel like across Virginia that so many Virginians definitely have Virginia Tech pride, and so.
Mm.
But I like that even though that you had left Northern Virginia, that you decided to still come back nevertheless.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is honestly my home, and I really do like it here.
I love that, and yeah, I mean that's so cool though that you're able to do that and document your experience. But I do know at least from viewing your YouTube channel that you actually did have a few yeah vlog videos prior to you starting college.
Oh yeah, I did actually. I'm glad you noticed that. Yeah. I just recorded some stuff like day in the life videos, and just like because I just love filming, and I just posted that on my YouTube channel, and nothing like too crazy came out of it. I didn't really think much of it. I just wanted to just have something up, and so I can just remember and look back on from high school.
Yeah, and how was that doing it from high school? If you remember going from that to to what you do now for documenting your undergrad experience.
So high school is more of like, hey, like these are my friends, like, oh, this is me going to football practice, or like this is me at lunch. College is like you have to figure out like what you do. You go to class, like you still say hi to your friends, like you still do all this, but for the most part you're pretty much on your own, like doing your own hobbies. So you just document like in college like what you do on a daily basis, and it's just you find new ideas and you do new things. Like there was this one time where my friend spontaneously just asked me to like jump like 60 feet from the air to water, like a base of water, and like that's called a quarry. And I was like, you know what, I might as well vlog it, because I'm gonna look back at it and remember it. So it's just little stuff like that is so different from high school, like just recording, like doing more spontaneous things compared to like, oh, I go to class, football practice, lunch, back home doing homework.
I love that. And yeah, I mean, I know for me, even though I don't really, publish a lot of vlogs per se, is that I'm very, I guess, very well known among my social circle, like for always having a camera around with me because I've just always
Yep.
loved, documenting the moment. And I feel like there's something so special about being able to look back at your previous self and being like, wow, I did that, and in some cases, like, wow, I did that.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. It's just like um you live in the moment but also just record it at the same time. And it's just it's so fun to look back at the things that you did. And like even from a year ago from now or like even 6 months ago, you just be like, wow, that was me 6 months ago. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, and I mean that really is just, I mean, it's so interesting to look back at. And yeah, and I know for one of your most recent videos that you put out is that you went to New York City.
Yeah, I did actually. That was the most probably spontaneous trip that I've ever done in my life. I didn't really give much backstory to it because I wanted to like keep the viewers like wanting more. So essentially, I went to New York City to visit my uncle, and I didn't really see him that much, but for the most part, I was pretty much on my own in the city, and I wanted to know what it's like to be on my own in that city because I've been there for vacation and like with my friends, but I never was truly there by myself, and I like absolutely loved the city, and it inspired me. It like made me so like happy to be there and just wanting to like move there like after college and find a job and just like live like the typical New York lifestyle.
I love that. And how was that, for you? And was there any part of it that you didn't show in the final vlog that you thought was memorable?
When I first got out of the Amtrak, like to come to um the city, I literally was just like amazed and like baffled. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like half asleep, but then when I got to the city, I just got like a breath of fresh air, and I'm just like I'm here. And I really wish I got my reaction on camera because I remember vividly, my face was just like smiling, and I just couldn't like stop.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, love that. And yeah, so a fun fact is a few weeks prior to you going is that I actually went to New York City for the first time.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, and so I was there for a trip with my college and everything, but it was just so amazing like to see the city, and I definitely did my best to try to document as much of it, as possible. And I also took the Amtrak there. So
Wow.
yeah, it was such a fun experience.
Yeah, there's just so much to do. There's so much to see, and like I feel like if you're a video creator, content creator, you genuinely feel inspired in that city because it's just there's so much that you can like do. Like the possibilities are endless there.
They truly are. And yeah, and I definitely did actually want to, I mean, to take a step back a little bit. So, so I know one of the things that you do on your channel as well is that you give a bit of, advice. Like I know you had a video about uh, informing upcoming freshmen as to like what to bring to campus and everything. And so what was your inspiration like behind making those videos?
I made those videos because I wanted people to know like what coming into college because I came into Virginia Tech like not knowing anyone, not knowing anything. I don't have any older siblings, so I didn't really have any like people to help me out. My cousins, I'm not really close with my cousins like that. I don't really have cousins actually. I have like second cousins, so I don't have any intermediate ones. So it really felt like I felt like the first person in like my family to go to an American college because my aunt went to college in like George Mason, but she went in like 2000 something, like 2002 or 2003. And then my mom went to school in the Philippines. So it was kind of like the first time um like one of our family members has been to college in 2022 or something like that. So I wanted to make a video wish like providing information that I wish I knew as a freshman or wish I knew like coming into college and like tell them what you need and what you don't really need because a lot of the stuff that I brought you didn't really need.
That makes perfect sense. And I guess I guess a curious question, for you then is that what would you say was something that that you wished you had that you didn't have, but something that you brought that you absolutely had no need for?
Um, that's a good question. I brought too many shoes. I don't know if you can see behind me, but like those, I'm like kind of a sneakerhead. I only wore like four pairs of shoes. I wish I didn't bring that many. And then I wish I brought an air purifier to the dorm. That is something that I wish I had. Like, oh my gosh, yeah,
That's definitely, like I said, good to know because I feel like for me, I've always been an online student, so I've never had the chance to have a true dorm experience per se. But nevertheless, though, I've always been curious. It's just like it's like you never really know the stuff until you have to do it firsthand, and then it's like you learn by trial and error.
yeah, yep. That's like a lot of my life. I'm just learning from trial and error.
Yeah, and actually, and outside of just your vlog life, like what do you typically do during your time there at Virginia Tech?
Um, I'm actually at the gym a lot. The gym is like something that has been really important to me for these past couple of months. Like, I'm almost been a year consistent. Uh, I like going to the football games. Like recently, I just went to the spring game. That was super fun. I love hanging out with friends, and I'm actually the events coordinator for my Chinese student society, so I help with that. Um, Other than that, I honestly just work on my videos and work to see what I can do better, or hang out with my girlfriend, or hang out with my friends.
I love that though, and yeah, I mean, I'm so glad that you're able to, like I said, enjoy your time at Virginia Tech, and yeah, and not just document too, but also experience it because you
Mm.
only really have this time once, and so I'm glad that
Yeah.
you're using your time to really explore.
I love every minute that I'm in college. Like this is honestly like one of the best times of my life right now.
I love it. And how do you try to like make time for everything? Because I know that, sometimes like especially like with video editing, that can sometimes be a bit, and especially like with computer science, I know that requires a lot of work, and I'm sure homework. Although I do know that it's probably not as intensive as it will be in future years, as
Mm.
opposed to sophomore year. But
I think a lot of people ask me that question, like, how do you make time? Like, or how do you have the time? I'm like, I make the time, like if it's something that's really important to me, I'm gonna make time for it. And if something is not as important to me, I won't make time for it. It's just I feel like this year I've just really found my priorities and what I want in my life, and I'm more harping on the things that are more important to me right now and will help me in the future, rather than something like, oh, let's go out, or like, oh, let's like do something stupid.
yeah, I really like that. Like I said, that you're able to make time for the things that you want to do, and I think that's such a important lesson, especially for for college students, because I feel like there's always so many opportunities out there, and it's just like figuring out which ones that you genuinely want to take, and for sometimes too, even if there's that one college group, it's like, well, maybe I want to join, maybe I don't. It's like you can always attend one meeting.
Yeah, for sure. I think it is important to have a balance, not to do too much of something, but also don't do too little. And that's probably like one of the hardest things about like having a balanced life is to find that balance. And I'm slowly starting to find it.
I love that. And yeah, I mean, this has been, like I said, I mean, really fun being able to speak with you thus far. And like I said, and being able to hear a bit as to, what you do. And so actually, going back, but since I know that, of course, you're majoring in, in computer science is, has that always interested you as well? I know you said you always wanted to go to Virginia Tech for their program, but did you have any interest in, computer science growing up as well?
Oh yeah. I always thought computer science was really cool, like when I was little. But I never really got into coding until I started college because I never really took the time to get it. Like it's just something that I've always wanted to try and experiment, and I guess it's working out. But um, yeah, I would say I had a pretty good interest in it. I never like was one of those kids that like just coded for fun or like had assignments for coding. I was just more of like I thought the process was cool and the idea was cool, so let me just try it out in college.
Well, that's really great, though. That like I said that you're able to explore it and enjoy it now. And so yeah, but I guess going forward over these next few weeks and months, like, well, especially as you end the spring 2024 semester, which, first of all, can you believe that's already this time?
I know it's kind of crazy. I'm halfway through college, and it's really like when I first came, I genuinely feel like my YouTube channel is like my college journey, and I'm already halfway through college. It's like, what do I even do after college? Like I don't even know. It's scary.
Yeah, and do you know what you want to do, like, for your junior and senior years? Anything that you want to do, differently or the same?
So I do want to get a co-op. So as like, you essentially co-op is just like get working for 6 months, yeah, and like living away from college and taking a semester off. I want to do something like that, and I also want to find research. Anything different that I want to do is not really particular. I do want to start more things for my channel and like treat it more as like a business rather than just like for fun, but still have that level of like fun and entertainment that I do have for it now. I want to do more with the podcast, and I do want to work on a side project that will probably be released like in October or November. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting, and definitely as we're coming closer to that, yeah, let me know how it goes because I'd love to, like I said, support any upcoming projects that you have.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I will say that for like your YouTube channel and your vlogs, yeah, as you've been progressing through it, and of course getting more views and more subscribers, does it feel the same, like, for you, like, in documenting your life, or does it come to you more that's like, oh, is this what people actually want to see? Like, because I feel like it's different, at least in my experience, like going from just genuinely documenting your life to truly making it intentional for for the viewers.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like when I first started out, like I just put a camera in my face, just call it a day. Like talk to the camera and be like, "Oh, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm eating." And now it's more of like, what do the viewers want to see, but also what do I want to post? I really have to think about the, what the audience wants to see, because as much as I am a small channel, you do have to think about like the time that they watch, the watch duration, how much, when do they click off, like what region is watching, like what do they want to see, what do they skip to. So you just research and just like learn about the analytics that you have and just trying to do better and see like if you can make it more fast paced, or if you think it's too fast, make it a little slower, just stuff like that. Just learning more about the YouTube algorithm, or just like learning more about like why people are clicking on your videos in the first place.
So I guess to take this a little bit farther. So is there anything that you have wanted to share, but you perhaps aren't going to, at least in the way that you'd want to, because you don't because of the algorithm?
I would say a huge thing that I've been trying to work on right now is like in the coming weeks, I really want to finish my short film that I've been trying to do. In New York, I was recording like B-roll clips of just me like walking around, and I want to share like a story, and I want to do something like that. But I don't know if it's gonna do well on my channel because I'm not mainly a storytelling channel. I'm more of like a vlog lifestyle channel. But I do want to post it on my channel this year, and I want to see how it'll do.
Well, definitely let me know, whenever you do, because I would love, like I said, to, tune in and support. And I definitely hope that everyone, listening definitely subscribes to your channel.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, but is there anything else, Kyle, that you wanted yeah, to say or speak about, during our time speaking here?
Actually, I was curious. Like, why do you like doing podcasts? And I'm just curious, like, what made you start it in the first place?
Yeah, that's such a really great question. And yeah, I would say the thing that I love about podcasting is hearing the stories of others, and I mean, and truly seeing like what people do with their time, because for time we only get it once. It's not like, oh, okay, well, we can just do that tomorrow. Well, that's a completely new day. And I think when you sort of take a step back and think, there's only 365 or 366, as in the case of 2024, days in the year. It's just like, well, if you use one, that's one day less that you have. And so I kind of am really curious to see, like, how people spend their time and what they do. it's so amazing to hear everyone's stories, yours included. And so I really think that this is just such an honor being able to do this. And in terms of the reason why I started, that's such a fun story. So back in 2017, when I first started, it was actually because I was doing tech stuff. I was just starting off high school student at the time, and just finished middle school the year beforehand, and I just really wanted to like deliver like tech news. That was just my thing at the time. But yeah, as I continued growing and evolving, I started doing like a few interviews that originally were tech based, but then it shifted from being about the tech to being about the person, and then I just continued forward. And so now it's crazy to think that this one right here, I believe, is number 315, I think. So it's crazy to think about it, but I mean, I've just loved this progression. I can't wait to see you know the amazing stories that continue to be told throughout the rest of 2024.
No, yeah, for sure. It's something that I picked up on podcasting is just storytelling and just like hearing other people's side of you. Like even though I do it with my friends, I still learn so much about them through that podcast, and it's really like nice and refreshing to like have conversations with people, new people exactly, and hearing the stories because sometimes we are in our own little bubble, and when we reach outside of that, it's really cool, and you learn different perspectives and you learn more about life through that.
Absolutely. And so how long have you been doing your Soul Sisters podcast?
We started probably in August, yeah, around August, September, and then we uploaded the first podcast there. And the funny thing is when we first started, we only had two mics. The lighting was really bad. We didn't really know what we were doing. And then as time went on, we started to get more mics. We got like ring lights, and we just started to like understand like how podcasting works. And I feel like it was just all growth and trial and error, like I said before.
Well, that's definitely like good to know, and I love though that I said that you all are using that to stay in touch though, because and that's something I love doing like with my podcast is that yeah, I've had quite a few guests of friends I haven't spoken to in quite a while, so it's like a nice fun excuse to get to catch up sometimes. And so
Hmm.
I feel like I don't know. As much as weird as it is to say, it's like sometimes if you just want a casual meetup, sometimes we just generally don't have the time anymore. But I don't know. It's like when you're doing it for another reason, it's just like a fun excuse just to catch up.
No, yeah, for sure. Like, of course, it's like, oh yeah, we can plan and meet up there, and like maybe catch up and get food. But also, it'd be fun if we recorded a podcast and just talked, and people can see like what it is, what it's like for us to talk in like over like a couple weeks or a month.
Yeah, and have you had a chance to go back to some of your previous episodes and maybe see like some thoughts or opinions change over time or see your own personal life progression?
Yeah, for sure. When I first started in October, November, or September, October, we had a podcast, and a bunch of the views that I had, like of my opinions about relationships, has changed since being like single to not. And it's really cool just to see the progression and see like all my friends' growth too. Seeing like how we've grown as individuals in the past couple of months, and like as much as like it is only 3 or 4 months, like time changes and people change over those 3 or 4 months, and it's very like clear that we do change over like a short period of time, and like everything's always changing. So it's cool to see and look back and like how we used to think and like how we used to talk compared to like how we are now.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I think that's always so fun, like being able to look back at that. And I know, like, even for my podcast, that's one of the reasons too that's so fun. Yeah, I mean, having guests that come back because it's just like, you're able to see the personal progression of both of us and even the progression of like, the editing and the style of
Mm.
it. And I think the craziest thing for either video or podcast is when looking back at it and when you thought something was really good, and then after you've grown a bit in your skill set and look back at the other one, it's like, oh my gosh, I did that.
Yeah, no, I definitely felt that. Like when I first started doing YouTube, I thought like, oh, my videos are so cool. Like I remember I recorded my first ever vlog that I actually posted in college. I thought that video was so good. I thought the intro was really good. But then I look back at it, I'm like, what was I thinking? Like that is not something that I would post now. especially like with all the new stuff that I learned from editing, color grading, like video recording, stuff like that.
From the YouTube technical side, is there anything in particular that I guess was the most shocking or the biggest change that you've made since starting?
Camera angles are like the most like annoying thing that I've ever had to learn in like making videos. I did not think it was that important until like I actually started analyzing other people's videos, and you see like the unique perspectives that they put, like putting it like on top of a shelf, or just like making it slide while you're walking, or just like little stuff like that. And especially since you're recording on your own, you really don't have like someone to just do that for you, so you have to think of it on your own. And color grading is also a huge thing that I've had to learn in the past couple of months. I'm like, I didn't realize how much of an effect that makes your videos pop. So I just feel like it's just all trial and error, like I said before.
Yeah, I definitely felt that, and I feel like one of the most interesting parts about doing vlogs and everything is especially with shots of you like moving past something, because it's like you have to go get the camera afterwards.
Yep. Yep. I have clips, or I have videos of just me like running back for the camera, or just like in New York, there was this clip of me. I didn't post this yet, but there's a clip of me on the other side of the street, and I thought someone was gonna take my camera, so I had to like run back and like go get it, and it was like super scary. And I literally just got that new camera too, so I was just like, yeah, I was so scared.
I can imagine the mental like torture of that, because yeah, I mean, even like being only like a foot away from the camera, it still feels like something catastrophic can happen to it between then and now.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's so interesting. Like I said, being able to hear everything from your perspective, and I'm just so excited to continue watching, your journey in your own, personal progression. And so, yeah, like I said, but thank you so much, Kyle, for coming on and for speaking with us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. I really had fun talking about my experiences. And honestly, this is one of my first times like actually like analyzing and deep diving into my YouTube channel. So I really do appreciate you making the time for this.
Of course, and thank you. And for everyone that wants to, tune in and support, where are the best places to, to find your channel, podcast, or any social media pages?
You can find them at Kyle Poselero. I'm assuming it's gonna be like in the description, but you can find me there, and then just my Instagram, Kyle Poselero.
I love that. And and yeah, but last but not least, I did want to allow for you to go ahead and end this out with whether it be a inspirational thought, life lesson, or anything that you want to tell to the audience. The floor is all yours, Kyle.
Um, if you want to start a YouTube channel, just do it. Like honestly, document your life and like have no regrets, because I feel like you will regret not doing it rather than doing it.
I love that. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. I greatly appreciate it as always. And yeah, like I said, Kyle, this has been such a fun conversation, and I cannot wait to continue with this podcast next week as we continue on our mission to bring people together. I'll see you
Oh
next
yeah,
time.
thank you. All
Take
right,
care.
thank you.